This is the second tutorial of 2C part 1. In the first tutorial we created this query which shows us that the reminders for reservations that have a check-in date within the next 35 days. So we've created that query for those reminders. Now what we need to do is put this into a report. So we're going to create a report using the report wizard, and we're going to start not by using a reservation table but by using this query, so that it's only showing the fields that we want, not some of the fields of records that we want, and then we're going to select the fields here that we want. So check-in date, check-out date, and I'm just reading this off here, room number and description. But we also need the visitor's name and address from the visitor table. So we need forename, surname, address 1, 2, postcode, as that's what we've been asked for. Now at this point here, it's assuming that we want one of these for every single reservation, but we don't. It needed to be grouped by visitor, and the reason it needs to be grouped is because we need a separate reminder page for each visitor. And the way that we'll do a separate page for each visitor is by having it grouped, so it will list the visitor, then all of their deposits that are due, and the next visitor and all their deposits that are due. We don't need any grouping because we've already done our grouping by the visitor. We don't need any sort order. With this one, it doesn't matter which one you choose, but I find the outline is a much easier one to work with than the others. And then what title do we want for our report? Okay, it says title of reminder to pay deposit. So that's what I'm going to call it. And we'll click on finish, and we'll get now a basic report. And you can see here it's got the visitor and then their check-ins and check-outs, then the next visitor and their check-ins and check-outs, and so on. So we need to add the logo. So if we go back to design view, so we'll close our print preview and we'll go into design view, which are already there. We should be able to insert the logo, and we'll put that up here, or you can just copy and paste it from another form. Then we want to make sure that each visitor is on a new page. So where you see visitor ID header, then we want to force a new page. So we're going to go to the properties and format, and where it says force new page, we're going to force a new page, okay, after each visitor. So now we'll have a look. Now if you do it in normal view, you don't get to see the pages. It's print preview that we need to see. And we see here we've got our first one, and then we've got our check-ins and check-outs, and you can see then that the check-ins and check-outs are going wrong, and that's because when we selected which way we were going to do it, we did it after the section. So it does it after the visitor header. What we really want to do is before the visitor header. So each time there's a visitor, it will create a new page. Let's look at print preview now. Now we've got this problem to deal with where reminder to pay deposit is only on the first page, and that's blank, and it's not being repeated on every other page, but everything else is looking good. So let's deal with this side of things. And the reason for that is because it's in the report header. So what I'm going to do is create some space for the page header, move it down into each page header instead, and then get rid of the report header, and now have a look at the effect of that, and you can see that is appearing on each page as it should do. Okay, a little bit of tidying up that we need to do. We need all this to be able to fit in a window envelope. Okay, so we need our postcode to come down here, so we just change that. We're already in design view. We need to make a little bit more space for it, so we'll just move these down a bit. We'll make our detail, this section here, a bit bigger first, pull them down to there, and then I can bring the postcode over, put that there. I can get rid of these titles if I want. We don't need those specifically because it's just the name, address, postcode. I can even bring the surname up to be in line with the forename, and hopefully that would all fit into an envelope window. Don't worry about the exact positioning of where the envelope is going to be, where the window is going to be, but you can see that that would now fit in. If you want to get rid of these grey lines, can you see it goes grey for every other record? You can do. It's not going to get you any marks, but just in case you would like to look at that, it's all about the alternate rows. If we go to all format, and it's all about the alternate row colour. So if we change that to no, and change this one to no colour, and then go back home and do our print preview, you'll see now those alternate row colours have gone. So now it's just a case of print previewing it and printing it, and then your next part of the task will be to annotate, and we'll be checking when we annotate that we have covered all of these requirements.